What's up, everybody? This is Sunko, the Korean Bro. Today is 2022, July 14. I wasn't able to do YouTube live last night because I was sick. Uh, I had acne problem, and I still have um some part of my face is reddish because of it. Um, it's itchy and like well, not right now, but like yesterday I kept scratching my eyes because it was so itchy. But now I'm feeling a lot better because I used the medicine. Mm. And it's in the process. I have to go to the hospital tomorrow and a few days later as well. Anyway, let's read articles of today's stock, and we'll see, right? What do we have? JP Morgan profit takes a hit in second quarter, shares drop. Three more stocks for the second half to consider. Wholesale inflation in June surged 11.3% from a year ago. JP Morgan profit takes a hit in second quarter, shares drop. US weekly jobless claims at highest point in nearly 8 months. Amazon offers concessions to head off EU antitrust cases. Steady growth could make Energy Transfer LP a solid buy. If not now, then soon. United Natural Food stock is ready to be snacked on. Elastic stock is buoyant surge play. Three stock the world's greatest investors are buying up right now. How to make great content and get more views. US weekly jobless claims the highest point in nearly 8 months. Investing in preferred stock versus common stock, profiting from 52-week low stocks. Three grocery stocks can help take a bite out of inflation. 3M is now a good time to buy. 3M after downgrades. Apple's global smartphone market shows increases by 20%. Should you consider the stock? And this is it for market beats. And let's go to Yahoo Finance. Inflation. Consumers are reacting to high food prices, says grocers. Consumers spend 40% of food budget in restaurants. Celsius, third crypto firm in 2 weeks of bankruptcy. Stock sink and market open as Diamond warns of negative consequences. Okay, after I'm done with reading articles that I just picked, then I'm just gonna scroll down and get to um, starting with start with articles below. Okay. See, okay, three more stocks for second half to consider. Wait, what do we have? The supply chain crisis has affected a number of stocks, largely due to the various stimulus policies. Demand increased significantly across many sectors, just led to large lead times in shipping and shortages across key components, especially semiconductors. As supply chains adjust and economies continue to open up after COVID, the following stocks could see a turnaround in their fortunes. First Solar. It's a solar company that provides end-to-end solar services. The solar industry has been witnessing strong demand as global economies increasingly invest in green energy. First Solar stock took a hit in the last quarter of 2021. The supply chain issues weighed on results, but the downturn is expected to be temporary as the issue starts to resolve itself. First Solar, let's see. I myself I'm really interested in green energy because it's kind of energy that people have to use at the end because without green energy, we cannot survive at all, and it's sustainable, and it's how can I put it? We can mingle well. Oh. Anyway, what was it? First solar. Seven best renewable energy stocks by July 2022. First Solar concludes sales Japan solar platform. Sun Power stock since its analyst with solar policy. Steve Howland. Okay. However, management has guided that supply chain issues are expected to remain in place for a little higher while longer. But with a multi-year backlog and one of the most competitive products on the market, First Solar is a stock that is likely to do well through the economic uncertainty. One of the biggest factors that were affecting solar industry in the past decade was Chinese solar panels. By providing large subsidies to solar producers, the Chinese government was able to make solar panels price competitive relative to global competitors. This meant that a lot of global solar panel manufacturers were not able to compete. This has changed in recent times as excessive debt has meant financial institutions are far less willing to subsidize Chinese solar manufacturers. As a result, many have started to go bankrupt, paving the way for competitors. Furthermore, in order to compete better, First Solar invested large amounts of capital into improving both the life cycle and efficiency of their panels, making their solar panels one of the most competitive on the market. Combined with new manufacturing facilities that should reduce cost, the stock could be considered by investors looking for a stable long-term play. Intel is another company that may be on the verge of a turnaround. Although Intel relies in part on computers to drive sales, the release of the latest chips could help the company take advantage of the semiconductor shortage and pick up revenue in areas such as data centers, where it has fallen behind the likes of AMD. The release of the latest chips could help the company take advantage of the semiconductor shortage and pick up revenue in areas such as Dell data centers, where it has fallen behind the likes of AMD. Hmm. Multiple chips, including 12th and 13th chips, along with the material like chip, offer a 20% increase in processing power while using the same amount of energy. Although there have been delays to release, with poor execution, Intel has managed to put itself in a position where it can compete and grow once more. Their stock trades at a relatively cheap valuation of 6-7 price to earnings, mainly as a result of recent historical issues. Expedia. Well, with global travel opening up once again, Expedia stock is expected to do well in the coming couple of quarters. Travelers are once again opening up their pockets and are increasingly looking to make up for time lost to COVID. Expedia should witness a pickup in earnings as more and more countries reduce travel requirements, including reducing requirements for vaccination and quarantine, and many developing countries are desperate for tourists as their economies falter. Furthermore, travelers are looking to spend more on destinations such as Europe. Hmm. Wholesale inflation June surged 11.3% from a year ago. Inflation at the wholesale level climbed 11.3%. in June compared with a year earlier. The latest painful reminder that inflation is running hot through the American economy. The Labor Department reported Thursday that the U.S. producer 주식이 주식이 um I don't know because I haven't been looking at it for a while. But what I know is that we still have a bearish trend. It's not a upward trend. It's either bearish trend or it keeps rallying. Um, it doesn't have any direct direction yet from what I see. Um, but at this point, what I can say is that I can pick some of the companies that is likely to do well in the near future. Um, that's what I can say. Some of stocks that I think have a bright future, short term, or like food company, or like the company that makes food, or uh, the company that produces oil or energy. That kind of companies will likely to do well short term because it it has nothing to do with well, not nothing to do with uh it still has something to do with inflation or supply chain issues, but it's less affected compared to the companies such as like IT companies, big giant companies, you know. Mm. And even that's the reason why the great investor Warren Buffett also invests a lot of his money into Coca-Cola or like Chevron. Not was it not Chevron, but like what was the name of the company? It was oil company. He also invested in oil company. So mm. Yeah, so long. Where are you, Moon? How far did you go? How far did you go? Like 50%? Halfway there? Halfway or 10, 15? Oh, uh, another 10 or 15 minutes? Okay, I get it. Okay, after that, getting back home, taking a shower, and then, okay, I get it. All right. Have be safe going back home. Well, be safe. Hmm. It's dangerous out there. Hmm. Dangerous. I know it's not rainy outside right now, but it's so dark at this time, you know. Hmm. Love you. Okay, let's get back to where I was. I was talking about wholesale inflation, right? So we recently have 11.3% surge, and it's impacting a lot on consumers, like just like myself. And let's keep on reading this article and see uh, what this author think. Okay. The Thursday report on wholesale prices came a day after the Labor Department reported that surging prices for gas, food, and rent catapulted consumer inflation to a new four-decade peak in June, further pressuring households and likely sealing the case for another large interest rate hike by the Federal Reserve. Consumer prices soared 9.1% compared with a year earlier, the biggest yearly increase since 1981. Gosh. Hmm. So what's the bottom line here? Hmm. Seven dividend stocks that earn 10% every month. Okay, what is it? Investors who are in or nearing their retirement year knows the need for reliable income moves to the top of the priority list. Let's keep on reading next one. JP Morgan profit takes a hit in second quarter, shares drop. Profit to JP Morgan, Chase fell by 28% in the second quarter as the bank tries to navigate an economy that's showing strength in many areas but losing steam as interest rates continue to rise, hitting consumers and corporations alike. The nation's largest bank by assets said Thursday earned a profit takes a hit in second quarter. Hmm. Bank stocks have been hit hard this year as investors have worried about the Federal Reserve putting the U.S. economy into recession to combat inflation. A recession would mean some Americans would lose jobs and likely start falling behind on their loans. These fears have more than offset the high revenues that banks have earned from higher interest rates. Hmm. Banks have been hit hard this year, but they also earned a lot this year. So it all offsets. U.S. weekly jobless claims its highest point in nearly 8 months. Wow. The number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits last week hit its highest level in nearly 8 months, but the total number of those collecting benefits fell. Applications for jobless aid for the week ending July 9 rose by 9,000 to 244,000, up from the previous week's 235,000. The Labor Department reported Thursday first-time applications generally reflect layoffs. Analysts had expected the number to remain flat from the previous week. The four-week average for claims, which evens out some of the week-to-week volatility, rose by 3,250 from the previous week to 235,750. The unemployment rate remained 3.6% for a fourth straight month. Seven stagflation stocks to help navigate periods of low growth. Amazon offers concessions to head off EU antitrust cases. Well, Amazon is seeking to resolve two European Union antitrust investigations has promised to treat third-party merchants on its website fairly. The blog's competition watchdog said Thursday the U.S. online retail giant offered to make a number of commitments to ease competition concerns, and the European Commission, the 27-nation bloc's top antitrust enforcer, said it will now seek feedback on them from interested parties. Separate investigation into whether Amazon favors its own retail business and merchants that use its logistics and delivery system over other sellers. Hmm. Next one. Steady growth could make Energy Transfer LP a solid buy. If not now, then soon. Out of 20 analysts, the vast majority are giving Energy Transfer LP strong buy rating, with only one or two analysts offering either a hold or overweight rating. This has remained consistent over the better part of the past year. Energy Transfer's average price target is $15.44 with a median rating of $15 and a range of $14 to $20. The current share price this week is approximately $9.80. This is an increase of less than 2% from the last official price. This is just about the median value for stock's 52-week range. It's a natural gas pipeline operator to grow and become one of the biggest and most diversified investment grade master limited partnerships in the US. This company owns and operates one of the most diversified energy asset portfolios in the US with a strategic footprint in all major domestic production basins. Effectively, Energy Transfer is daily committed to expanding this existing footprint in order to move efficiently transport petroleum products and to provide necessary infrastructure and optionality to consumers across the United States. United Natural Food stock is ready to be snacked on. Organic foods and grocery product distributor United Natural Food stock has been performing relatively stronger than the benchmark index is trading down on the year. The company provides organic and natural grocery products, vitamin supplements, gourmet, ethnic meat, dairy, and private label products under many brands. The company had to navigate through macro headwinds, including inflationary pressures. They saw food inflation hit 10.8%, record high fuel prices, um, and labor challenges impacting both its customers and business. While headwinds are expected to persist, supply chains and driver vacancies are improving with the new accelerated pay and flexible schedule programs. The company expects food at home sales to remain strong as more people continue to work from home when managing tighter household budgets in light of food inflation. The company serves both the upstream premium offering and downstream value segment markets, enabling it the breadth and agility to continue growing customers throughout various macro environments. United Natural Foods serves over 30,000 independent retail food locations. The company also supports communities and the planet with wide-ranging ESG initiatives. Prudent investors seeking exposure in a healthy lifestyle grocery product supplier can watch for opportunities to take pullback levels in shares of United Natural Foods. Hmm. Elasticstock is a buoyant search play, data search, and analytics platform. Elasticstock has taken a drop on the year but is staging a strong comeback. Elastic is the leading database search engine that also enables observability and cybersecurity. It's an infrastructure platform, enables users and developers to perform precision searches within an application on the cloud through a subscription model. It allows companies to transform data into insights and action. Elastic is a leading provider of enterprise data search solutions and partnered with both Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. The demand environment continues to be strong as evidenced by the 35% top line growth. Elastic Cloud showing 80% growth. Customer acquisitions remain strong, growing its base 130% to 18,600 subscription customers, of which 960 had $100,000 or more in annual contract value. Annual commitments from customers almost doubled versus prior. The business benefits from three major recession proof tailwinds, which are digital transformation, cloud migration, and the need for enterprises to search and analyze through massively growing data volumes. Prudent investors seeking exposure in the enterprise data search and analytics segment can look for opportunistic pullbacks in shares of Elastic. Let's look at the price of Elastic. Is it investable? Elastic. I believe this is on my portfolio. Yes, it is. Hmm. Mm, 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 mm. Hmm. Hmm. Elastic. Okay. Three stocks that World Rated investors buying up right now. What are they? Occidental Petroleum Corporation engages in the acquisition, exploration, and development of oil and gas properties in the United States, Middle East, Africa, and Latin America. The company operates through three segments: oil and gas, chemical, midstream, and marketing. It develops, processes, transports, and markets oil and condensate, natural gas liquids, and natural gas. It also manufactures basic chemicals. Hmm. Subsidiary 1.5 and Manulife Investment Management entered a lease agreement for approximately 27,000 acres of timberland in western Louisiana. Provides 1.5 with access to subsurface pore space surface rights to develop and operate a carbon sequestration hub. Uh, Not my interest. Three grocery stocks that can help take a bite out of inflation. Costco, Kroger, Casey's General Stores. Was downgraded by several analysts and investment banks recently with lower price targets. It currently has a consensus rating of hold, the price target of 155.69, giving it a 20.64% upside. The stock compares unfavorably to the S&P 500 as this index has a rating of buy with a higher upside at 31.65%. 3M is currently dealing with several product liability lawsuits that have spooked some investors. General Electric is one of 3M's main competitors in the industrial conglomerate sector. Both are trading near their 52-week lows at 3.62% and 5.15%. Okay. Apple's global smartphone market share increased by 20%. Should you consider the stock? Apple is a technology company based out of Cupertino, California. It produces a range of hardware and software products, including the iPhone. Apple's stock has corrected over 20% from its 52-week high and now trades at a much cheaper valuation than in the recent past. Apple has been witnessing a steady decline in market share for the iPhone in the US market, where the market share fell from 65% in 2020 to 50% in quarter first 2022. but on the other hand has witnessed significant gains in the international market. According to media, Apple's smartphone market share surged to 18.3% globally, shaping a total of 56 million units. In 2019, Apple has a market share of 13%. In 2020, it had a market share of 14%. Apple has been consistently gaining market share through this period, and despite the slowing sales in 2021, it managed to continue to increase market share. Meanwhile, its primary competitor, Samsung, remains at the top of its global smartphone market share. The global smartphone market has been slow in 2022, sales declined by 12%. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Higher food prices, grocers. Support shoppers pushing back against food inflation, says one grocery chain operator. Consumers are reacting. Mike Davison, president of Blue Fresh, told Yahoo Finance, the company he runs owns 14 grocery stores, 9 restaurants, and 8 liquor shops in Ohio. Davison says revenue is up year over year, but he's seeing customers buy fewer number of goods due to inflation. Units are moving down, he said. Grocery stores aim at moving a higher number of units of food out the door in order to make room for fresher merchandise. Consumers are trading down to lower priced items and generic brands. Are trading down to lower priced items. They are also pushing back against luxury foods or higher end goods, it said. Some of the less essential items, the seafood department has been struggling this year because people probably aren't splurging on lobsters and crabs like they might have in the past, said Davison. Same goes for the more expensive wines and liquors. We're not Walmart. In turn, his purchase manager pushed back against higher prices from suppliers. We advocate for our customers, said Davison. We're not Walmart, we're not Target, he said. But when someone calls and says, hey, I'm going to raise your cost 20% to cover my commodity price, my comment back to that supplier is, hey, if we put that retail on your product, I will sit there and no one is going to buy it. Anyway, so we have high inflation recently, and this high inflation definitely influences our life. And people are buying less, and people are trading down to generic bread, and they are pushing back against luxury foods. They're doing action they've never done before, right? Because otherwise their accounts uh, would melt, right? Inflation, consumers spend 40% of monthly food budgets on restaurants, survey reveals. Uh, Despite record high inflation and soaring food prices, many Americans still seem to prefer dining out. According to a new survey from Popmenu, an account-based platform that helps restaurants streamline their operations, 40% of monthly individual or family food budgets are spent on restaurants. In the past, you wouldn't go to restaurants to save money, but now everyone understands that restaurants are so much better at making meals. They get better deals on the ingredients and they're much more efficient. Brandon Swain, CEO and co-founder of PopMenu.Yahoo Finance. He emphasized that quality, convenience, and value are now top of mind for consumers, referencing a separate PopMenu study conducted in Q1 2022, which found that 29% of consumers believe that it is cheaper to order from restaurants rather than buy the ingredients needed to cook a meal. Well, still we have this. Hmm, people still spend like 40% on dining out, even if we have like this high inflation and the economy is bad and a lot of people are jobless. People still dine out and they spend like 40%. What article did I just read? Hmm. Stock market news live up. The stocks sink as Diamond warns the negative consequences from inflation. Fed. U.S. stocks deepened losses at Thursday's open as investors reeled from shock inflation data that renewed worries over aggressive Federal Reserve action and digested earnings for some of Wall Street's big banks. Okay, let's see. Ah, please entertain me. What interesting articles we have? Kathy Woods are buy 1 million Unity software shares after Iron Source acquisition. Okay, go. Morgan Stanley, despite a turbulent economy, the stocks have over 90% upside potential. Cheap prices are plunging, what it means for Nvidia, Intel, and AMD stock. Buys more Occidental stock. Okay, Nvidia stock price cuts are piling up. Wall Street is getting worried. JP Morgan Stanley, growth stocks like Patton and Snowflake are back in favor. Oh, come. Yes. This is like the one of the articles that I love to read. The energy systems revolution has arrived. These three stocks are poised to benefit. JP Morgan, the energy sector, offers the most attractive risk reward profile. Here are two stocks with over 50% upside. There's a perfect storm brewing in the family housing market. There's a super simple way to take advantage. Hmm. Pattern to stop making own bike treadmill, its stock is rising. There's the ocean catch the double downgrade on recession worries. Looking at Cooper and Freeport McMoran, everyone is ignoring a huge issue. Semiconductor stocks pain will get worse before it gets better. How to play it? Canada goes nuclear with super sad 1% interest rate hike. Why did Iron Source jump 72% in the pre-market session today? Matthew would watch Art buys big into biotech. Warren Buffett stocks. Morgan Stanley profit falls 29%. 12 better stock that could be the next Amazon. Microsoft isn't immune to a potential recession, Morgan Stanley warns. Why American Express and Capital, one got downgraded. Five reasons Apple stock is still a buy. Unity stock is plunging. Ha ha ha. Isn't recession proof? Why one analysis 50% downside for the stock? Hmm. Okay. Kathy Wood R buys 1 million Unity Software shares after Iron Source acquisition. After the stock slumped following its $4.4 billion acquisition of Iron Source, bought shares of Unity, the art, autonomous technology and robotics ETF. Hmm. Investors are losing faith. Unity software investors are throwing up their hands in despair. After a series of questionable decisions, the company's credibility with shareholders seemed to be fading. On Wednesday, Unity shares tumbled 70% after the game development platform announced a definitive agreement to merge with app monetization company Iron Source. Hmm. Unity also lowered its full year revenue financial guidance to a range of roughly 80% this year. Wow, wow, wow. Unity software. Hmm. Hmm. Is Unity software a buy? Okay, let's read this. In this video, I'll be talking about Unity software merger with Iron Source and what it means for shareholders, as well as having a look at both companies' financials. Hmm. Morgan Stanley, despite turbulent economy, these stocks have over 90% upside potential. What are they? Let's see. What is it? The first one we have is Woolstar in the healthcare sector. Ivory Bio is a biopharmaceutical company focused on the development of innovative new medications to treat retinal diseases with high unmet medical needs. Hmm. Exponential Fitness. Now we'll make a sharp change in direction and look at Exponential Fitness. This is a curation and franchise company in the personal fitness sector. The company owns a portfolio of brands offering a wide range of fitness activities across multiple categories, including yoga and dance, Pilates, cycling, rowing, running, and boxing. Fighting Sports Exponential aims to make boutique fitness available to a large audience and operates through its master franchise agreements and franchises in 48 US states, Canada, and another dozen countries. Hmm. Cheap prices are plunging. What it means for Nvidia? Plunging. Semiconductor analyst Christopher Rowland lowered his price targets for Nvidia stock to $220 from $260. Advanced Micro Devices stock to $120 from $140. Hmm. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway buys more Occidental stock. He buys more of it? Wow, 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 wow. How much is he going to buy it? Disclosed the purchases of another large block of Occidental Petroleum stock. Hathaway paid $250 million from July 11 through 13 for a total of 4.3 million more shares of old giant Occidental Petroleum, according to a Warren Buffett's company filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission. The latest buy in recent tier of purchases now puts its Occidental investment to 179.7 million shares. Hmm. Growth stocks like Peloton and Snowflake are back in favor. Here's why. Higher. Hmm. Higher interest rate and bond yields have long been known to pummel growth stocks whose valuations depend on future earnings. It comes as no shock then that investors have scurried away from the sector this year in a bid to cut losses amid a volatile market. Hmm. The energy systems revolution has arrived. These three stocks are poised to benefit. Wallbox. First up is a stock that Janarica describes as a charging bull. Wallbox, a Spanish company traded on Wall Street, lives in the electric vehicle charging market and has developed a range of smart charging devices for both private and consumer and commercial EV users and owners. The company's charger units bring high-end features such as universal plugs and touchscreen controls, and even bidirectional use that allows fully charged EVs to send power back onto the grid or the user's home. Wallbox EV charger MP materials. EV chargers are great, but like much of modern tech giants gadgets, they depend on rare earth metals, and that's where MP materials comes in. While most of this vital mining sector is locked down by China, MP Materials are working to put the US back on the map as a source of these essential elements. The company's Mountain Pass site is the only rare earth mining and processing facility in North America. Features extraction, separation, mining, and finishing operations. By combining these all into one location, MP Materials gains a significant cost efficiently. More similar rare earth mines, blah blah blah, Fluence Energy. Last on today's list is Fluence Energy, a company working in the energy storage room where Johnny Radcliffe Woods. It has become a trailblazer. Fluence has developed the Fluence K-Cube, the base unit of a modular, highly configurable, scalable energy storage system. The Fluence system, based on its cube, offers capabilities for rapid delivery and deployment on top of cost-effective builds, and blah blah blah. Hmm. JP Morgan, the energy sector offers the most attractive risk reward profile. Here are two stocks with over 50% upside. And Natural Resources, Marathon Oil Corporation. I said that before. Um, there's a perfect storm brewing in the family housing market. Here's super simpler way to take advantage. Patent to stop making owned by Trapmill. Its stock is rising. Oh, come on. Patent Interactive on Tuesday announced it is going to solely rely on partners to produce bikes from Trapmills in a bid to simplify its cost structure. Shares of Patent were up nearly 4% to $9.26, suggesting that much of the bad news is already priced into the stock. It has fallen about 74% this year. There's the Ocean catches a double downgrade on recession worries. Sentiment is getting a little bit ugly under the Ocean Holdings, which provides cloud computing services to small companies, Amazon Web Services for little guy. Service now stock sliding, Patent backpedal is in right direction. Hmm. Oh, come on. I cannot read it unless I subscribe it. Oh, come on. There's a good one. Okay, there you go. One last article and one last article that I'm going to pick, which is Trupanian, the one that I traded a couple of days ago. I really have high belief on this. Trupanian. Trupanian. Trupanian announced the second quarter. Trupanian continues to pay veterinarians directly at checkout. Dream monster growth. Stocks can turn $200,000 to $1 million by 2030. Okay. Okay, let's keep on reading this as fast as possible. Pound Interactive built its business to delight its customers. Now it must to do the same for its shareholders. Pound said Tuesday it will stop producing its own hardware, exiting all owned manufacturing operations and expanding its relationship with its Taiwanese manufacturer Rax Industrial Corp. The move comes as Pound's new chief executive Barry McCarthy works to right the company's financials. Unwinding big and in hindsight naive bets co-founder John Farley made during his tenure. Pound shares, which have lost only 2% of their value over the past year, jumped by almost 5% after the markets opened. A shift to outsourced manufacturing came as relief. About face highlights what Mr. Farley got spectacularly wrong and acquired Taiwan-based manufacturer Tonic Fitness Technology back in 2019. A move Mr. Foley said was meant to help out and own the supply chain and therefore to increase scale and capacity as well as to delight its members. But as an online retailer, Stitch Fix other business currently undergoing major restructuring and suffering a similar stock price implosion, also is learning. It is very hard to own every piece of your customers' experience and grow exponentially without losing your investors. The numbers simply don't add up. Hmm. Okay. One last article, okay? One last article. Uh, this has been one of the most challenging years for Wall Street investors in the past half century. In terms of peak to trough decline, the benchmark S&P 500 and growth-oriented Nasdaq Composite have tumbled as much as 24% and 34% respectively. This places both indexes in a bear market. While bear markets can undoubtedly cause fear and tax resolve investors, there are also a proven opportunity to buy game-changing businesses at a discount. As a reminder, every stock market correction and bear market throughout history has eventually been erased by a bull market rally. Neo and Trepanian and Crash Collapse. What is this company? Crash Collapse. Pet insurance company Trepanian. The big knock against Trepanian is that it chosen subscriber expansion over the near-term profile. Reinvesting in its platform isn't cheap, has resulted in large losses over the past couple of years. There was in any economic environment for lagged fettered and scaled family members. Data from the American Pet Product Association shows that it's been more than a quarter century since US year-over-year spending on pets declined. To date, the company has only penetrated about 2% of the US and Canadian pet market. That compares to a 25% insured rate for pets in the United Kingdom. Trepanian were able to grow enrollment to 25% of it would have been an addressable market worth more than $38 billion. In other words, the pet insurance industry is still in its infancy. Trepanian is also the only large pet insurance company that provides well sought handle payment at the time of service. It's one of many reasons Trepanian's rapport with the back is unmatched. Okay, this is it for today, and I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye bye.